It's only 24 hours away. The Pakistan Super League, the defending champions Peshawar Zalmi will be taking on the new team, Multan Sultans. And that's what we're going to focus on today, the Pakistan Super League. Remember, there's 6 teams in there. Now Multan Sultans is the new team. We're getting 3 games in Pakistan, 2 in Lahore. Those will be the qualifiers. And the final will take place in Karachi. That's why this 3rd edition is generating a great deal of excitement. So to talk about the 3rd edition of the Pakistan Super League in greater detail, I've been joined by Mr. Kashif Majeed. Kashif, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Ali.
I think it's safe to say that, Kashif, this is why we're so excited about this edition of the PSL, because yes, we're going to get some very interesting and very exciting games in the UAE, but we're waiting for the games to happen in Pakistan, aren't
Yeah,
we?
we're definitely waiting for these 3 games to be played in Pakistan, in the Pakistani grounds, 2 in Qazafi Stadium, then the final in the National Stadium, Karachi. Obviously, we are excited. Cricket is coming home.
There's no doubt about that, but and of course, the 6th team, Multan Sultans, they'll be taking on the defending champions.
The most experienced side in the lot of the PSL. We talk about Kumar Sangakkara, the Shoaib Maliks, the Kieran Pollards, Sohail, Tanveer, Junaid Khan, all of them experience. They are the first timers, still the most experienced side in the league. So that is way to watch them.
Getting a 6th team in there, do you think it makes it more competitive?
Yeah, because now more players get the opportunity to play against the best in the world. So that is encouraging for our domestic cricket, because more of the players have been participating and got selected.
Right. Now, so as I said, Peshawar will be taking on Multan Sultans. They'll be playing their first game of the PSL. Let's go through the defending champion squad, shall we? Let's do this, Kashif. Darren Sami is the captain. We've got the old-timer Mohammad Hafiz, Wahab Riaz, Kamran Akmal, Hassan Ali, Haris Sohail, Chris Jordan, Dwayne Bravo, Tamim Iqbal, Hamad Azam, Mohammad Asghar, Saad Naseem, Taimur Sultan, Samin Gul, Ibtisam Sheikh, Andre Fletcher, Ricky Wessels, Khalid Usman, Muhammad Arif, Khushtil Shah, Liam Dawson, and Umaid Asif. So this looks like a very balanced squad. They won last year, and they've got a great deal of experience in there. Mohammad Hafiz, he's a wonderful T20 cricketer. And then you've got Wahab Riaz, of course, Kamran Akmal, Hassan Ali, who's the best one-day bowler in the world, Dwayne Bravo, Chris Jordan, and they're being led by the dynamic Darren Sami.
Of course, they've been one of the finest team in terms of the combination when we talk about PSL's first 2 edition. Yes, Quetta Gladiators have played both the finals, but Zalme is like always there. Important to know is the domestic player or the local players playing in the team, because they are 7 in the number in each match, because you are only allowed to play 4 overseas players in the match. So these 7 actually make the winning combination. The 4 guys who are the overseas players, I'm looking at this squad. Darren Sami, of course, being a captain, will be playing in the match. What if Tamim Iqbal is opening in this? Darren Bravo is here, and then we have got Darren Bravo. Darren Bravo is there, and then we've got the 4th one. Who will be the 4th one to be playing in this overseas lineup of the Peshawar Zalmi?
Right, Kashif, we'll pick up on your thoughts. Right now we have Mr. Ashar Zaidi online with us, media head, Peshawar Zalmi. Ashar, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you guys?
I'm well, how are you? You must be very excited that your team is taking on the debutants, the Multan Sultans.
Oh, definitely. More than excitement, there's a lot of tiredness and fatigue on the body, because the last 7 days have been like hell, working from morning till dusk, so it's been crazy. But yes, we are all very excited, and teams are geared up. So we have seen our team practicing, and we also won one of the practice matches. So the morale that I see in the room is very high, and once you're entering the ground as a champion, so that puts some extra pressure on you. And I talked to a lot of the guys about this pressure thing, and they said that we are under pressure, but we are enjoying this pressure, and they realize that Multan is made up of some very strong cricket minds. There's Shoaib Malik, there's Wasim Akram, and all these wonderful players. So it's going to be a good battle, but our players are all geared up for it.
Right. We'll talk more about Peshawar Zalmi's squad, Ashar, but a little bit more about the kind of work that you put in. As you just said, you've been working very, very hard in Peshawar Zalmi. as have the other teams. They've been working extremely hard to build their teams, build their brand. So talk to us about some of the work that you've done, some of the initiatives you've taken up before the third edition of the PSL.
Well, I would like to answer your question in two parts. One part
Sure.
is building the team. That's more technical, and we leave that to the coach, Mohammad Akram, because he knows what's going around. He's like always glued and watching all the leagues, watching all the players, and getting to that. So that's more technical. We leave that to him. If you talk to me, I can shed more light on the media part and the building up of the franchise part. There's a business model, and then there's the media model that you are doing to actually lure the players and build up a hype of the event. So we have been actually working on that. Financially, in the initial stages, getting sponsors in for PSL was a very tough task. You must have been reading in all newspapers, especially when we had a T10 league coming up. Lots of sponsors went over there. So the financial model of making some good money from PSL was a difficult task. Initially, it was very tough, but we are very glad that in the last phase, lots of sponsors have come back. If you see the shirts of all the franchise teams, they're like literally loaded with the sponsors all over. So the interest is coming back, and the good thing is that these companies are realizing that investing in PSL is very important. And as Mr. Sethi has indicated that in the coming years, more and more teams are going to come into PSL and more matches will come into PSL. So that is one area where sponsors are very happy and they're putting in money. Now, this is very good news because you all realize, it's money that revolves everything. And with this financial power and people realizing that there is money in this business and if sponsors invest in it, they realize that they are going to get a good return on it. So it builds up the whole environment and the whole thing revolves around. So that is one very good thing. We initially had lots of problems convincing the sponsors that come in and invest into it. But suddenly in the last 2 or 3 weeks, there has been a tremendous response from sponsors. We would like to thank them too. And now that we are very settled up, the matches are ready and the teams are ready to go out and play. So at this point of view, time, we are just trying to build PSL into a bigger brand. We have our neighboring country who really boost about their brand, their league, which is a big one too. But let me tell you that PSL, viewership-wise and ratings-wise and financial-wise, is picking up. And we can very safely say that right now PSL is the second biggest franchise league in the world. And hopefully we are going to build onto that.
We're going to leave it at that. Ashar Zaidi, thank you very much for speaking to us. That was Mr. Ashar Zaidi talking to us about Peshawar Zalmi. And this is extremely important, Kashif. Of course, he's involved with the media, and his job is to promote Peshawar Zalmi and, of course, get sponsors in. And every single team has many members of the media, working to help them out. This is the most crucial thing, to get sponsors in. They need people to continuously support the Pakistan Super League because, as you know, Kashif, in the beginning, just when this thing was starting, when the Pakistan Super League was starting, very few people believed that this would take off. But it has, so much so that it's the second biggest in the world.
Yeah, definitely. And the important aspect for me is when we talk about this franchise cricket, they are creating an interest at the grassroots level of Pakistan, involving players under 19, under 16, making teams. So a player who's playing good cricket at under 16 level, he knows he has got a profession looking forward for him. He don't have to worry much about the financial aspect now because they know if they're going good, they'll end up in one of the franchise and they'll take care of that guy in terms of financials. That is one important part, because when we talk about Pakistan domestic cricket and the things attached to it, there always talk of the financials. The second aspect, as you talk about the interest, the sponsors, now people have realized that if they invest money in sports, they'll get good benefit out of it.
Right. Let's move to the Karachi Kings, shall we? We've got Syed Afridi. We also have Ravi Bopara. This is a star-studded squad. Hassan Mohsin, David Wisa, the South African, Mohammad Talla, Mohammad Rizwan, Saifullah Bangash, Mohammad Amir, Usama Mir, the leg spinner, Usman Khan, Mohammad Irfan, Tabish Khan, and Timal Mills. We've got them in there. We also have Owen Morgan, Lendl Simmons, Babar Azam, Khurram Manzoor, Colin Ingram, Joe Denley, and the left arm spinning all-rounder Imad Wasim. Like I said, star-studded squad, a lot of experience in there and a lot of skill in there, especially for T20 cricket.
Yeah, definitely. Ravi Bopara, when we talk about him, he's the one exceptional guy who's been doing good in two PSL's editions, so he'll be there. Joined by Shahid Afridi, a match turner on his day. He can turn the match in anyone's balance. So he's there. And then we have got a good a player who is consistent enough with the white ball cricket. That is Babar Azam. So they've got good quality. They've got good bowling attack. Most probably. I think these 6 franchises, one of them should have Fawad Alam in it. I was looking for Karachi Kings. Most probably they have a Fawad Alam. If they've got Khurram Manzoor, why not Fawad Alam then? So one player missing in PSL I'd like to mention. But else, Karachi have got a very balanced side, and it's up to their captain and the team management which 11 players they'll select for the match, because they've got good paces and then they've got good spinners in terms of Imad Wasim and Shahid Afridi. 8 overs, these 8 overs are like economical for them. Rest of the 12 overs, they'll be focusing on that thing.
Right. And Imad Wasim will be captaining Karachi Kings, so this is a big moment for Imad Wasim.
Very big moment. He captained, certain teams in the domestic cricket when we talk about Islamabad and all those teams, but captaining Shahid Khan Afridi for that matter, Imad Wasim will be staying ahead of Afridi or going for the toss, and Afridi is sitting in the dressing room. That will be a big moment. What if Afridi goes for runs and Imad has to go to Afridi, bhai, please, no next over for you. So that will be a moment for him, and that is the learning experience, how to manage these players even.
Now I'm just looking at some of these players in there. Of course, there's some very dynamic ones in there, some very enterprising players. Owen Morgan is one of the best T20 players in the world. Lendl Simmons, of course. David Wiese, the South African, he's an all-rounder. Tamal Mills, we'll be looking forward to seeing him. He's very quick, and he's got a lot of variation, doesn't he?
One of the best bowlers in the depth overs. Every bowlers have got good variations with the left arm and with the the variety he has got. He's one of the aspects. So when we talk about T20 cricket, we actually divide into three parts. First 6 overs, then 6 to 14 overs, and then 14 to 20 overs. Yeah. You have to have bowlers actually who fill those spots. First 6 overs, some of the economical bowlers, most probably Imad Wasim will be bowling 3 out of 6. Then the last 6 overs, most probably Tamal Mills will be Ty will be bowling that last 3 overs of the 6. And then we have got Afridi from 6 to 14. So his spell will be done by that time. That is attacking option Karachi Kings have got.
Now I'm looking at the Karachi Kings. They've got a pretty good fast bowling attack, don't they? I've already mentioned Tamal Mills. Usman Khan, if he's fit. I'm not sure if he'll be fully fit. Mohammad Irfan, Mohammad Amir, and then they've got the leg spinner in Usama Mir, and of course Shahid Afridi can bowl as well, and Imad Wasim. They've got a good. They've got some very good bowlers.
Yes, very good. And Usama Mir, he's the one guy who's doing pretty good in the domestic season. He's a very good right-arm leg spinner, and most probably at times I feel he's an underachiever for his even own ability, because he's got good variation and he's got good skill, and for a leg spinner he's got a good control. So if he's playing in United Arab Emirates and the pitches if sporting spin, then they've got a very good spinning option. 2 genuine leg spinners and one left arm spinner. Most probably Ravi Bopara have been very good with the bowling analysis throughout the first 2 seasons of PSL. So he'll be an added benefit to the team.
Bopara bowled well in the PSL, and if you remember, how am I forgetting his name? Grant Elliott. He bowled very well in the PSL. That dibbly-dobbly stuff. On those slow wickets, sometimes it works. But looking at this the Karachi squad, their bowling looks very, very strong, because they've got some wonderful fast bowlers and some fine spinners who can not only take wickets, but they're economical as well. But when you look at their batsmen, I mentioned Owen Morgan. We saw him bat against the New Zealanders recently in Hamilton. He's a brilliant T20 batsman, and he loves playing spin, doesn't he? And then he'll get a lot of spinners over here bowling at him. Lendl Simmons, I'm sure you remember his innings in Mumbai against the Indians in the T20 World Cup, and even before that, playing in the IPL and even the Big Bash. Lendl Simmons is one of the best T20 players in the world. Babar Azam, he did very well last season. And then, of course, Khurram Manzoor, you've talked about him. He's in pretty good form. Ravi Bopara. So, again, like, we've talked about their bowling being very strong. Their batsmen are as well.
They've got a very balanced team. When we talk about the quality of the PSL, it's always about 6 teams competing at each other at a same level, you can say. They all have got brilliant combination. It's just not about having stars, because most probably we'll be talking about Lahore Qalandars, that the most star-studded team, the Real Madrid of PSL. But the combination, 4 overseas players versus 7, domestic or the local plays. That's the combination as one team has to go.
Kashif, we'll pick up on your thoughts right now. We have Mr. Skinder Bakhat online with us, media head, Karachi Kings. Skinder Bakhat, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum.
Skinder Bakhat, Karachi Kings, well, one could say that they've underperformed so far in this PSL, so they'll be looking to come good. And with the kind of squad that they have a very balanced. They've got some brilliant batsmen, and it looks as if they've got some wonderful bowlers as well. So they'll be hoping to do well and make an impact this season, I'm sure.
Well, in terms of expectation, you can say yes, probably underperformed. Otherwise, we finished third last year. We missed the final by 1 match against Zalmi. For this year, yes, we have a balanced squad. You may find some big names, but we relied more on a combination rather than having stars, and which is why we feel that in all 3 departments, we've got plenty of options available throughout the 10 matches that are available for all the teams till you reach the playoffs, yes.
Right, Skinder Bakhat, we were talking to the media head of Peshawar Zalmi a few minutes ago, and he was talking about the kind of work he had to put in and the kind of work all of you had to put in being in charge of the media side of things. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, media part, of course, is an essential part of any big league or any sport where all the people around the world would like to know what's happening, especially who are not available in the UAE where the tournament is taking place. For us, it's a bit hectic, yes, but often in different parts of the world. But once we gel into one squad, then of course we have one language, and we of course here to endorse the what do you actually call it, the victory of any particular franchise in New As far as I'm concerned, if you personally ask me, it's always been a pleasure being part of Karachi Kings and handling them from the start of the PSL, which was around 3 years ago, or 2 years ago rather. And it's indeed it's a form of a sporting event or an entertainment event, because cricket is entertainment, and if it brings smiles to everyone, then yes, we'd love to be a part of such a game.
Right, we're going to leave it at that. Skinder Bakhat, thank you very much for speaking to us. Let's move on to Islamabad United. They're being captained once again by the reliable Misbah-ul Haq. Alex Hales is a new addition to their squad. He's a wonderful white ball batsman, is Alex Hales. We've got Asif Ali in there as well. The left-hander, JP Dumani, Iftikhar Ahmed, Sabzada Farhan, who's a very exciting up-and-coming opener for Pakistan. The all-rounder, Ahmad Bhatt. Andre Russell is back, so that adds a little bit of dynamism to Islamabad's squad. We've got Fahim Ashraf in there, who's improving day by day. The leg spinner, Shadab Khan, everybody will be looking forward to seeing him, of course. Hussain Talat, Stephen Finn, Sam Billings, the wicketkeeper, Luke Ronke, Mohammad Hassan, Raheel Nazir, Mohammad Sami, Roman Reis, Samuel Badri, Zafar Gauhar, Mohammad Hasnan, and Samit Patel, along with the West Indian Chadwick Walton. Kashif, your thoughts on Islamabad squad?
Again, like the first season and like the second season, I think they are not the one in terms of the big names, but they've got a combination. They've got brilliant players from the domestic circuit. Shadab is performing exceptionally well. Then they have got Roman Reis, exceptional bowler in the depth. Then they have got bowlers who can bowl in the middle of the innings. What missing is a true match winner for them. Who will be the one? They'll be looking for one.
You see, again, Skinder Bakhat mentioned something. He talked about, it's not necessarily about, I'm paraphrasing a bit, not necessarily playing the best team, but getting the right combination. Yes. And that's what they did first time around, if you remember, Islamabad United. I mean, they got off to a bad start, but then they came back very strongly. And that was largely because of their bowling. Their bowlers won them the first PSL.
Yes, and when it comes to the batting, that was the aspect I was looking when we talk about Islamabad United, because when they won, the bulk of the scoring was done by Shane Watson and Brad Haddin, and both of them are, I think, not in the team now. Shane Watson and Brad Haddin. So who will be the one replacing those two guys? That's the one question. Either they are looking for a player of quality of Sam Billings. Most probably he have to take the bulk of
Smith
scoring.
also played a crucial role.
Yes. Second, most probably, Misbah is a guy who will be playing the sheet anchor's role in the middle of the innings, rotating the strike. And he's got exceptional leading qualities. I've seen Islamabad United team, playing alongside Misbah. The way they respect the leader, the way they respect the captain is actually one thing which is leading them towards the success. I've seen Sabzada Farhan and Asif Ali. Quality players, and most probably Asif Ali will be the one. Yes, along with Sahibzada Farhan, the players to watch in this PSL, because they've been doing pretty good.
In the first PSL and even in the second, they didn't have batsmen like Chris Gale and Brendan McCullum and Chris Lynn, but they've got some reliable they had some reliable players in there, which was why they won the first one and they were very competitive in the second. But if you look at this lineup, they've got some incredible ball strikers. Alex Hales, of course, Asif Ali, he can smash the ball. Sabzada Farhan, Andre Russell, who's one of the best strikers of the ball, and Fahim Ashraf, Sam Billings, Luke Ronchi. There's some power hitters in there.
When we talk about Islamabad United, for me, when we see the team, it starts from the fourth or the fifth player downwards, because they've got quality, quality all-rounders in terms of Andre Russell.
Right. We'll pick up on your thoughts. We've been joined by Mr. Zukharaf Mumtaz, Media Manager, Islamabad United. Zukharaf, Assalamu alaikum.
Ali wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm well, thank you very much. Zukharaf, talk to us about Islamabad United, and of course, you're involved with the media. You guys are very active on Twitter and especially Instagram. You're doing excellent work.
Thank you so much, Ali, and assalamu alaikum to everyone. And first of all, I would like to add one thing. You were talking about Chris Lynn, and I would like to add one thing here. Chris Lynn is out of the tournament because of shoulder injury, and so there is no Chris Lynn in Lahore calendar. This is a big setback. And now coming to Islamabad United. Islamabad United is doing good. Today we went to Sharjah Stadium for our official shoot and official promo recording, all done with the guys. They are doing very good, especially you were talking about Andre Russell. He is in a peak form, and I talked to him as 1 or 2 hours before. And he's doing very good in nets, very good in batting, bowling, and especially, he's a very good fielder as well. So he's focusing on everything in PSL Season 3. He missed the last season, and he was very upset why he missed the last season as well. And now JP Tumini will join us after 2 matches, and Hales will join us after 10th March. So team combination is very good. You're talking about Luke Ronchi. He's very good. He's also training our young guns like Hassan and Ruhail Nazir, who are also keeping in the domestic season. So all is more than well for us. Especially coaches are doing very good. Dean Jones, Waqar Bhai, Tawfiq Bhai, and other one, Dino. Both are doing very good with boys. So I think if boys doing good with Waqar Yunus as well. He's, he's like a toe crusher. He used to spend more time in net with Ahmad Bird, with Roman Rai, and Syed is doing good with Shabab as well. So overall team combination is good. Team is good. They are relaxing as well, and tomorrow will be a big day, and PSL3 will be there.
We're going to leave it at that. Zukharaf Mumtaz, thank you very much for speaking to us. That was Media Manager Zukharaf Mumtaz, Media Manager for Islamabad United. Let's move on now to the new team, the debutants, Multan Sultans. This may be the first time that they're playing the PSL, but they've got a very experienced squad. The captain, they're being skippered by Shoaib Malik, the big Kyron Pollard, Kumar Sangakkara, Imran Tahir, Junaid Khan, Darren Bravo, Ahmed Shahzad, Suhail Tanveer, Mohammad Irfan, Sohaib Maqsood, Irfan Khan, Kashif Bhatti, Muhammad Abbas, Nicholas Puran, Abdullah Shafiq, Saif Badr, Hardis Villion, Umar Gul, Ross Whitley, Umar Sadiq, Shan Masood, and they also have the Sri Lankan all-rounder Thisara Pereira. Kashif, your thoughts on Multan Sultans?
Balanced squad, old war horses. They've joined by the legendary Wasim Akram. So no, it's
And they're
all
being
about,
coached by Tom Moody
yeah,
as well.
coached by Tom Moody. So World Cup winners, when we talk about Wasim Akram, they know how. So the coaches and the staff know how to play in a crunch match or the crucial match, and so does Shoaib Malik. Sialkot, the captain of the Sialkot team, the most successful team ever, I think, in the T20 history. Winning straight back-to-back tournaments. So he knows how to win matches, and he's the one guy who is doing brilliant for Pakistan in recent, a shorter format of the game. So the captain is good. When we talk about Kieran Pollard, maybe he's not performing exceptionally well when we talk about Bangladesh League, because he's done, he's actually made two 50s and that's it for him. But overall, he's played for the dozen leagues around the globe. And a player to watch. Then they have got Umar Gul, then they have got Sohail Tanveer, then they have got players of high caliber. So most probably experienced merge in one team.
Right. And before we get to some of their weaknesses, or what might be their weaknesses going into this tournament, Shoaib Malik is definitely their strength, because he is the Pakistani T20 player, by far the best, the most experienced, and the most skillful. He's played T20 cricket all over the world, so he'll add great value to this Multan side.
Definitely. And one thing I'm looking at when we talk about this squad, most probably he has to change his role from a person who is coming in the middle order and staying till the last over. Most probably he'll be doing the aggressive stuff with the Kieran Pollard, because the rest of the team is quite conventional batsmen. When we talk about Kumar Sangakkara, they're not power hitters. When we talk about the opener Shan Masood, and yes, Thisara Pereira is one guy that can be add value.
This is what I was getting at, Kashif. They don't have many power hitters in there, and the Dubai and Sharjah wickets are generally slow, so you do have to be a little bit laborious at times, but it's always useful to have a big striker of the ball. Now, Kieran Pollard is there, but he isn't in the best form. Neither is Thisara Pereira, really. He blows hot and cold, doesn't he? So I think that's where, but Darren Bravo is there, but I still believe that this is where Multan could get into trouble sometimes.
Multan will be an exceptional side chasing 140 or 150, but above 160, they'll be struggling. They'll be struggling unless or until Shoaib Malik or Kieran Pollard something exceptional, because chasing 140 is like peanuts for them. They've been so experienced chasing 6 or 7 runs per over. So most probably in this season, it's up to Multan bowlers to restrict the teams and let their batsmen do the chasing stuff or something. Yes, it will get something of quite interesting of a match when Multan bats first. What target they are looking at, that will be something which Shoaib Malik, along with the experienced players, looking at what target to set.
Right. And when you look at their bowlers, Sohail Tanveer is one of the most experienced bowlers, and he knows how to bowl in T20 cricket. And Irfan is there, and then they've got a few others as well. Umar Gul, who's loaded with experience. You remember at one time he's one of the best T20 bowlers in the world. So they've got some useful bowlers in there.
They've got experience. The bowlers. The Multan Sultan have got, they know how to go
Junaid
through
Khan, of course, I forgot to mention him.
Yeah, the bowlers, these bowlers, they know how to get through their 4 overs. That's important. When we talk about T20, it's about bowling 4 overs in a quality manner, in a most economical manner, and they know. And then they've got good depth bowlers in the shape of Sohail Tanveer. He's still very good with his his extraordinary different action and the variations. So yes, they've got as mentioned, old war horses, but are they motivated enough to compete with the upcoming generation? That's the question to be asked.
And they've also got one of the best spinners in white ball cricket. He didn't do too well against the Indians, but Imran Tahir is still a force to reckon with.
Yes, definitely, and he's still among the top 5 bowlers when it comes to the white ball cricket in both formats. Against India, playing a spinner in in South African conditions, it's difficult for the spinner and most probably the leg spinner. But the leg spinner playing most probably with their home team players, I guess Imran Tahir is playing against with those and against those who against those players against which he started playing his cricket. So he knows them. He knows the language. He doesn't have the language barrier as well. So he knows what's coming and what's actually the other team is thinking. So he's the one crucial guy who can actually merge the South African experience and the Pakistani experience to deliver for Multan Sultans.
Right. Let's move on to the next side now. We've got the Quetta Gladiators. They'll be skippered by Sarfaraz Ahmed, Kevin Peterson, Riley Rousseau, Mohammad Nawaz, Anwar Ali, Mahmudullah, Umar Amin, excuse me, Umar Amin, Mir Hamza, Asad Shafiq, Shane Watson, Rahat Ali, Ramiz Raja Jr., Saad Ali, Saud Shakil, Hassan Khan, Jason Roy, Rashid Khan, Azam Khan, Faraz Ahmed Khan, and Jofra Archer. This is a very exciting Quetta Gladiators side, and Quetta Gladiators, well, they've gotten so close but haven't been able to win it. They've reached the final. They've reached the final twice. They too have a star-studded lineup and a very balanced one as well.
And the captain knows how to play limited overs of cricket. He's the one who's actually quite exceptional in in contrast to the other captain, because most probably other than Shoaib Malik, the other when we talk about the rest of the captains, they are they are not just for the T20 brand of the cricket, but Shoaib Malik and Sarfaraz, they are actually the suited captains for this brand of the cricket. Plus they've got KP, Kevin Peterson, exceptional play. Most probably Quetta will be missing Ahmad Shehzad, because that guy has done brilliant for them in the previous 2 seasons, and most probably their top scorer, I think, in the second or the first edition. So they'll be missing Ahmad Shehzad, but they've got good spinners in shape of Nawaz and Hassan, the under-19 kid. So 2 good left-off spinners. Then they've got a good batting in the form of KP, and then their middle order batting. They've got a balanced side, and that's what the quality we are talking about in the PSL. Every team you look at, they've got a balanced squad.
I don't know if you've seen Jofra Archer play in the Big Bang, the West Indian
one
fast
of the
bowler.
best. One of the best.
I'm looking forward to seeing him. I mean, he is absolutely wonderful. He's wonderful for the game of cricket.
Quite entertaining as well, because he loves the pressure. He loves entertaining the crowd, and so does the cricketing quality itself. So yes, Jofra Archer is a very good pick, I would say. And when the matches are on in Sharjah Stadium, where fast bowler might get a little bit of help, he'll be the player to watch.
Right. Now, we've been joined by the owner of Quetta Gladiators, Mr. Nadeem Umar. Nadeem Umar Saab, Assalamu Alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Ali. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
Yes, great. We are in Dubai right now, and just the preparations are going on.
Right, Nadeem Umar Saab, we were looking at your squad here. It looks like a wonderful squad. There's lots of variety in there and some very, very skillful players. And you always have had, which is why Quetta has reached the final twice. Unfortunately, you haven't been able to win it. But with this squad, there's no reason why Quetta shouldn't go all the way this time.
Ali bhai, very kind of you. And yes, I think last time, we were a bit unlucky because some players couldn't come to Lahore. That title was also for the taking. But this time, mashallah, yes, you're right. We had a little issue in speed, and that's what people were saying. But now with the inclusion of so many fast bowlers like Jofra Archer and John Hastings and Ben Laughlin, I think, and the local talent that we've got, I think we should do well.
No, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. You've got a very dynamic squad here, and we were mentioning before we had you on, we're looking forward to seeing Jofra Archer, who was brilliant in the Big Bash. Nadeem Umar Saab, just one quick question before we let you go. Being an owner of a cricket team, what's that like? I mean, what have been the biggest benefits and what have been the biggest challenges? Because when the PSL began, we talked a lot about the owners and how they'll, have to learn how to manage a team, how to deal with a team. Can you speak to us about that?
Yes, actually, we have a very lucky the fact that I've always been a team owner because we had, the Pakistan Cricket Club, we had Umar Associates, and we had all these young talents, including Sarfraz, Ashar, Shafiq, and all the players that we have. They were always in a club, and we have a club for the last 25 years. And, Azam Khan has been running it. So the nucleus was always there. But now, of course, the magnitude has grown enormously, and now we are here with, a franchise. So it's a bit different because the stakes are very high, the money being involved. But, the passion is still the same. And I think being an owner of a franchise, yes, it brings on a lot because you are representing some people out there who are, very keen followers now. And Quetta has become a great name, and the people of Balochistan, are in love with Quetta, the Quetta team, as with all other franchises. So I think we've got a healthy competition, and like you said, the stakes are very high, and it's a great feeling.
Nadeem Umar Saab, thank you very much for speaking to us. That was the owner of Quetta Gladiators, Nadeem Umar, right? We're running out of time, so we have to get through Lahore Qalandars pretty quickly. Lahore Qalandars, well, they didn't do well in the first and they didn't do well in the second, so they've got a point to prove. And they've got the squad to make an impact. Once again, they're being captained by Brendan McCullum, Sunil Narain. Chris Lynn is out, unfortunately. Mustafizur Rahman, Umar Akmal, Anton Devchich, Dinesh Ramdan, the wicketkeeper, Fakhr Zaman, Yasir Shah, Cameron Delport, Amir Yamin, Bilawal Bhatti, Sohail Khan, Bilal Asif, Bilal Asif, Raza Hassan, Sohail Akhtar, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Ghulam Mudassar, Mitch McClanagan, Gulrez Sadaf, Imran Khan Jr., Salman Irshad. Now, what immediately jumps off the pages here, Kashif, is that looking at Lahore before, they were very top heavy. They had a lot of powerful players like Chris Gale, Umar Akmal, and of course Brendan McCullum. But their bowling attack was exposed. But looking at this bowling attack, there's a lot of variety there, isn't there?
Yeah, Sunil Narain, Mitchell McClenaghan, 8 overs again, and the score, I'll be guessing 8 overs 40, 50. Rest of the 12 overs, that's important for them. Who will be bowling the rest of the 12 overs? Shaheen Shah Afridi, yes, sensation in under 19 level, but he has a point to prove in in a bigger format and with a bigger players. What else? Who else will be bowling these 12 overs? That's the important point. The second thing which I like to mention was, as Nadeem was saying, who will be coming to Pakistan? What if these teams qualify? Who will be the overseas player coming to Pakistan? That's an important question because Quetta was brilliant, unless then we came to know that the their top 4 players are not coming to Pakistan. That's also we have to take actually crucial point to be mentioned in this whole
I
of the
think
episode.
once we get deeper into the PSL, we'll find out who's coming and who isn't. But looking at the squad, as I mentioned in the first 2 PSLs, they had some very powerful batsmen in there. I mentioned Gail McCullum, Jason Roy, who's now in Quetta's side. He was playing for Lahore. He's one of my favorite players. But just looking at some of the bowlers here, Sunil Narain had already been with Lahore, but he didn't have much support. Yasir Shah is there. And of course, Amir Yamin, the all-rounder, Bilawal Bhatti, who's quick, Sohail Khan, who's a very good T20 bowler. They've got some good spinners in there, and Bilal Asif. Raza Hassan, I'm looking forward to seeing him. He's a very good T20 bowler. And the star of the Under-19 World Cup, Shaheen Shah Afridi. Ghulam Mudassar is there. You've already mentioned Mitch McClanagan and Imran Khan Jr. with his variations.
Mitch McClanagan, Raza Hassan, Sunil Narain. These are the first 3 weeks. Then in the middle of the innings, Sohail Khan. He's improving, with the shorter format of the game.
He can hit the ball too.
Yes, so does Sunil Narain. He's been opening the innings, for
yes,
the,
of course. Yeah, he made some very quick 50s, didn't he?
So he's opening the innings for different franchise cricket. So they've got a very balanced side as like the other team. But how Brendan McCullum managed them, that's the important question, because again they've got so many stars. Are they motivated enough? Are they feeling the emotions attached to the team? Because at times when you're so big a star, you feel quite lazy about playing, in a franchise cricket. But yes.
Right, Kashif, we're bang out of time. We have to end the show. But before we do, we've been through the squad. We've looked at it in detail. In your opinion, which is the strongest PSL side?
For me, I'll go for the 2 sides. Islamabad with the captain, Misbah, and the old war horses, Multan.
Right. We're going to leave it at that. Kashif, thank you very much for coming on the show.
You.
It was a pleasure. That's all we have time for. Keep watching Sports Extra on PTV World. See you next time. Bye-bye.